Hey guys, Jess Hallock here. Time to show you an updated night routine. I've changed a couple things. First things first, I'm always going to brush my hair out to detangle any tangles that are left over from the day. Start from the bottom, work your way up. Be gentle on your hair, for real. You only have so much, and every time you rip through your hair and you're not careful about it, you're just creating more split ends. So I love to use a ventilated brush. This is the Detangler from Ensemble. It's gonna be the most gentle when you're brushing out your hair. Next, I'm gonna go in with the Score brush from Ensemble. So this brush, the bristles are very dense, they're boar bristles, and you're gonna use it to rock it along your scalp and brush through your hair. We always have trapped oils up here that need to be moved from our scalp through our ends. If your hair is really staticky, if it's dry, get it off your scalp and pull it through. The other thing this is good for is working off the buildup that's on your scalp. So if you're using any product that's like creating any buildup right here, or if you have dandruff, or if you're getting dry patches, this is something that you can use nightly, or I would say 3 times a week or so, about the same amount as when you're going to exfoliate your skin. You don't want to overdo it, but you want to do it enough consistently to keep everything at bay. So I'm going to start with where my hair is normally parted. I'm going to rock it and pull it through, and then I'm going to section and just go right, like at the most an inch, probably less, and just pull it over to the side, rock it, and drag it all the way through. You'll notice that when you first rock it, or when you like brush through, there's a lot of tension, and then the further you go, it loosens up. So you don't need to pull it all the way through your ends. You're just trying to do even sectioning all the way around so you can pull those oils all the way through your hair. This is also the same thing that I do after the gym when my hair is like really watery, greasy from working out, and it just redistributes all that hydration through my hair. Then I can go longer in between washes. But basically, I'm exfoliating my scalp and redistributing those oils. After you've gone all the way around your head, you can go along your hairline. It's my favorite part. And just brush through it. I lose focus as I'm doing this. Yes. Okay, after you have done that, you're already half asleep, right? Okay, this one thing, I can't tell you how many times I've told people to do this and they're like, are you sure? Are you sure? I feel like my hair is gonna be really greasy if I do this. This doesn't make sense. And then they do it and realize it's great. Okay, you have to put oil on your ends, mid-strand to ends. If your hair is curly, wavy, coarse texture, blonde, I don't know who doesn't fall into all those categories, but you should be putting oil on your hair. So the trick is when you're using an oil that doesn't absorb well, it's just sitting on the hair and coating it. When you use a good one that absorbs well into your hair, then by the time you wake up, it's all absorbed and your hair doesn't feel greasy whatsoever, but your hair needs hydration. Trust me, your ends are dry. So I just do 1, maybe 2 pumps, rub it all through my hands, and then go mid-strand to ends. So I'm just gonna brush through with my fingers like this on both sides. Re-lather up. My bangs are always dry. And then I go like this. I'm just getting it everywhere. So if you're looking at my hair, you can tell that it's starting to look more weighed down. So after you run the oil through, grab your brush again, gently, brush it through, it's just even extra. But by the time you wake up, this is gonna be fully absorbed into your hair and it's not gonna make it greasy at all. This is nowhere near your scalp. This is only your mid-strand to ends. I've also had people ask, will it get on your pillow? Not that I know of, I've never had that happen. So you're totally safe. And trust me, you'll notice a big difference on just how smooth, soft, how well it behaves, all the things. The last step, I'm sure you've heard of scalp care. This is also what we've been doing with the Score scalp brush, but you can also be putting a scalp oil on your scalp for hair growth. So this is the Boosta Plus. This one is a scalp oil to help generate hair growth and also get better with retention. So your hair goes through 3 different growth phases, and one of them is releasing the hair, the other one's growing it, and the other one's just resting. So using a scalp oil that's gonna work on your pores, because this can help tighten those pores. It also, if you look up what it actually does, it kind of beefs up that bulb that's underneath your scalp to make it bigger, which also helps with retention. It helps create a stronger cuticle so that the hair is not only coming out, like it's not only growing, but it's also just a stronger piece of hair in general. And then to generate new hair growth, more strands. So I would take just one dropper full and put it where you want it for the most part. I would say most of us want it in our temple area, right here. Really along that hairline is probably the most common place that we're wanting this. It's super lightweight. It's gonna absorb really well. Ew, I still have some left. I'm gonna put some back here. Into your hair. Okay, and then you're gonna use your fingers, just kind of rub it in. I wouldn't do this unless you have used the score first, because if it's gonna just run into product buildup on your scalp, how's it gonna absorb? You know, it's like trying to put makeup on when you still have makeup from yesterday on. You have to wash it, you have to clarify it for this to work. So I would put this on at a minimum twice a week, maybe for sure the nights before you're gonna wash it, but if you wanna do it daily, you totally can. It'll be fully absorbed by the time you wake up. After I've applied all the things to my hair, then I'm gonna put my hair up above my head. I call it pineapple style because it looks like the top of a pineapple. And I keep it very, very loose so that this part, by the time when I lay back on my pillow, none of my hair is touching my pillow. So I take a very big loose scrunchie. You could take a silk scrunchie, just something that's not gonna have a lot of tension. Make sure there's a lot of room there. You don't wanna see anything like tight. Don't freeze the frame on that, that was scary. But you want it to be loose so that when you go to bed, it's just out of the way, your scalp can breathe, all of that. We don't wanna have a lot of friction and have your hair look like you went somewhere last night when you were just sleeping, right? If your hair isn't long enough to pull it all the way up, you could pull it half up. If you have extensions, you could pull just the top part up that's above your extensions and braid your extensions down, or you could braid the whole thing down, whatever works for you. But having some form of a night routine is really good for your hair because scalp care is the reason that your hair grows, is healthy. It just gives it a good foundation to start from. So if you're doing nothing for it, you're definitely gonna see a huge difference. Also, if you have a really greasy scalp and you wanna go longer in between washes, this is a way to train your scalp so that your hair can do that. If you get dry patches or if you have issues with dandruff, then this is something you should be doing all the time. Just the way that we take care of our skin, we have moisturizer, we have our nightly creams and all the things, we need to be doing something for our hair on a regular basis because it's fragile. We only have one scalp. We got to take care of it. I will link all of these things and so you can purchase them. They're my favorites. They're all quality. They're things that are going to last a very long time. And if you have any more questions about specifics for night care, just DM me or comment below and I can answer those.